Hello YTPC, Piper Cassidy here. What about you? We're out and about on the streets of Belfast today. We're gonna pop into my local brick and mortar. The shop is called Moran Ltd. The gentleman who owns the store is called Niall, and we're gonna have a quick word with him today. Also, we'll take a look at their pipe tobacco products, their pipes, their cigars, everything they have to offer. And yeah, let's take a look. It's called Moran Ltd. It's been about for as long as I can remember. Niall is the young man who owns the shop. And today we're going to have a short word with him. Let's take a look in the window fronts, see what we've got. There's some hip flasks on the left there. We've got Zippo hand warmers, if you've ever seen those before. There's a good selection of Zippos. There's some chewing tobacco, snooze, all the kind of Swedish snuff style. And there's some tins for loose tobacco. What have we got here? We've got a nice hand-carved meerschaum, sorry. In the other window we've got some more Zippos, plenty of Zippos in this place. Plenty to look at, a very effective window stand. And obviously due to Corona, we all have to wear face masks. So, let's go in and see what we can see and have a word with Niall. I'll speak to you in a minute. Okay, so it's a pipe and cigar store, so inevitably it's going to have a good selection of cigars, as you can see. There's the Davidoff ranges there, plenty of Robustos and Monte Cristos on the left, and Romeo and Juliet. You can spend as much as you want in here. It really is up to you. They have everything for anyone's taste. More cigars. Henry Winterman's.
It's not one of those dodgy movies.
As you can see, they have a good selection of Peterson system pipes. There's some Eric Nording just down the middle there as well. Really nice selection. A really good selection. You can see on the far left there, there's the Peterson Dracula that people like. I myself prefer the standard system. I find it very effective with the P-lip as well. But there's a lot to see and do here. Some cigar cutters, there's some Falcons, and of course, it wouldn't be a pipe store without the Missouri Meerschaum corn cobs. There's some, looks to be basket pipes, kind of cheaper range. And there's the good stuff. I need a wider screen for this. There's a good lot of pipe tobacco. Something for everyone.
A couple of packets of residence, please. The cream. And
there's your normal, regular cigarettes.
And the big guns.
There's a bottom shelf there, Cafe Cremes, and all the minis.
How much is an expensive pipe?
We have in the middle shelf there, it's what they call snooze. Little pouches of tobacco with flavouring that you can stick in the side of your gum, much like the Americans would use dip. But we don't have dip here, we just have these the Scandinavian style. I would like to try dip at some point. You've got your Villagers, More Monte Cristos. There's some King Edwards. That's for all your rolling needs as well, if you're a cigarette roller or some more snooze on the bottom shelves. And they've got plenty of their own blends as well.
1 in 10. Peterson probably one of the top pipe makers in the world. You were saying you run out of stock sometimes at Peterson?
The one in the top row in the middle, it's got the pi symbol. I believe that's some kind of play on words, obviously. I'm sure you'll agree though, great looking store. If you're ever in Belfast, you be sure to come. It's Church Lane, and it's called Miss Moran.
The most expensive price.
It's 1 of 10.
1 of 10.
Got a good look at
Guess the price and you
Peterson.
get it for free.
I've just been told this particular Peterson that has a army mount spigot, the silver cap, really nice sandblast, and it is 1 of 10. Did you say now?
Limited edition last year.
Limited edition. And much would that go for? The highest bidder?
The highest
The
bid.
highest bidder. Does it have a retail price? Is it for sale?
Okay, I'm betting 10p.
Not
Anybody
bad.
talking about?
1400. 1400. What's that in US dollars? Nearly $2,000 now, wouldn't it be?
That's not expensive.
That's not, no. Beautiful pipe. I'll come back with my friend's checkbook. Beautiful pipes.
Some lovely straight grains as well.
Yeah, it's lovely. Beautiful. Do you have Savinellis in here? You don't keep Savs?
No, we
No.
find them difficult to get.
Right, right. But that is something else.
These leather chairs.
Beautiful pipe. Okay, so this is Niall. He's the owner of the
Hi
shop.
folks.
Thanks for agreeing yet again just to do this quick blog interview for us.
No problem.
Very friendly of you. So how long have you owned Miss Moran?
I've owned Miss Moran's for about the last 20 years.
20 years. I do remember coming in here 10, 15 years ago and seeing your face. I thought you'd been here longer.
No,
Maybe-
the shop has been here since 1870.
That was my next question. 1870?
It's now the oldest retail business still surviving in Belfast.
Jesus, right. Is it a listed building?
The building itself is listed, dates back to, well, 1705, I think.
Jeez.
Construction started,
Right.
and it was finished in 1709.
Brilliant. It's great to know. 1709. Okay, just with the state of play then, with restrictions on tobacco in the UK and the rest of Europe, have you noticed things getting tighter, or is it harder to be a tobacconist in a city centre these days in the last 10, 15 years?
The problem is getting product, particularly pipes. I mean, Peterson's 10 years ago, we would have waited maybe a maximum of 3 months for a specific shape.
Okay,
Now we can be waiting 3 years
3 years
Yeah.
for an order.
just for a single order.
Right.
So it's difficult.
Right.
But pipe smoking has also taken off, particularly amongst the younger generation.
Yeah, yeah,
20 years ago, we wouldn't have sold a pipe to anyone under 35.
yeah.
Now, 50-60% of the pipes that we sell are to people between 25 and 30.
That's fantastic news as well. And a lot of people are seeing the benefits for your mental health of pipe smoking. I think if you are a pipe smoker, aren't you?
Yes.
Now? So you'll know yourself whenever you get into that flow state or just that calmness whenever you smoke a pipe. It can be good for someone who's leading especially in times like this where things are a bit hectic.
It can be for you, but my wife hates the sight of it.
Well, I'm I'm a shed smoker, so I know very well. I'm not allowed to smoke in the house, so
Oh well, my wife knows when the pipe gets lit.
right.
She could talk for as long as she likes. I'm going to hear nothing.
I hope you're smoking some American Eileen's Dream or something nice and sweet for your wife. No.
I'm not a
No.
big fan of sweet tobaccos.
Right.
Of added sweetness. Natural Virginia has
Yeah.
enough sweetness for me.
Right.
And I tend to prefer flakes rather than mixtures.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much more you can do with a flake, and it seems to give you just that little bit extra.
Absolutely.
In the pipe.
Absolutely. Just for people here, I had experimented with the Kendall Mayer chocolate flake, and you know, it's just smoking it too fast, didn't know, rubbing it out, and then I came in, got some advice from you, fold it in and smoke it slowly, and I've learned the breathe method now, so the flavour really does come out, so thank you for that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic tobacco. So yes, we've covered that. You are a pipe man. How long have you been smoking a pipe?
Oh, probably about 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
That's good, right. And your favourite blends then, if say it's Desert Island Disc, if you could only have three, let's say, what would be your top three?
Oh, St. James's Flake, which is a Virginia Creek.
Okay.
Sterling Flake, which is a Rattray's blend.
Okay.
Again, White Plain. And if I was to venture with a flavour, it would probably be either Coniston Cut Plug.
Heard good things.
It's a very nice smoke. Ennerdale is nice as well. It is a much lighter and rose geranium
Okay.
topping on it. When you smoke it, you almost get a clove flavour.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
quite nice. And probably Wallace Flake
Okay.
has a touch of plum in it.
Right. Lovely. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Royal Yacht and the what's the other plum one? The University Flake, is
University Flake will have a touch of plum in it.
Yeah.
But stronger base tobacco.
it? Right. Right.
I don't like tobaccos which overpower. I like something which keeps you interested the whole way down the bowl, not
Okay.
something which just starts off and doesn't transition at all.
Right.
And I mean, you can overcomplicate blends as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So probably some Virginia, some Burley, and I'm quite happy.
Excellent.
The odd
Excellent.
touch of Perique.
Salt and pepper. And then, what are your best-selling brands at the minute, or what would you sell most of in pipe tobacco?
The pipe tobaccos tend to be dominated by the Gareth Hogarth,
Okay.
Samuel Gareth blends,
Yeah.
and Peterson's, both Peterson's traditional blends and Peterson's Dunhill.
Okay. Yeah.
Aramore, which was traditionally produced in Belfast for centuries,
Yeah.
still remains
The
very popular. to this
Gallagher's,
day.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it still goes, sells very well. It has a following. I think what we've found over the years is that people are now becoming, rather than sticking with one brand, 365 days a year,
Yeah.
people are changing.
Yeah.
Now, some of that's driven by changes that have happened in the marketplace. So, for example, Bruno, when it went to Denmark, it's not the same tobacco.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people would agree with you. Yeah.
Walnut flake, which traditionally would have been handmade
Mm.
by three guys using machinery out of the Ark, has now transferred to a modern production facility.
Right.
And again, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like, part of it was, for example, Gallagher's would have made a year's batch of flake.
Uh-huh.
It would have matured in vacuum sealed packs, so the flavour's gone to marry and mellow.
Uh-huh.
Whereas now it's been produced in a much more defined time period.
Right. It has to
In
get
a
out.
limited amount, it has to go out, and the tobaccos themselves are not getting a chance to mature,
Yeah.
blend, marry, and give you the true flavour.
Yeah. Would you would recommend then cellaring that tobacco for a while if you had it?
I don't know that.
You think it's lost then? It's just been because
I don't honestly
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, Samuel Gareth will tell you that, if you keep their tobacco for 2 or 3 years, so you actually see the salt crystals developing on the leaves,
Uh-huh.
and that's the best time to smoke it.
Right.
Um, So yes, it all depends. I prefer my tobaccos to be natural and not processed to the nth degree, just to suit a manufacturing process or to suit economics.
Yeah.
And where the likes of Gawith, Hogarth, etc. excel, they're literally hand placing leaves.
Right.
You're not getting stalks, you're not getting bits of root or anything else. You're getting 100% natural tobacco leaf with whatever casings or flavourings that they're adding to it.
Yeah.
And ultimately that shows through in smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you were to break a Robert McConnell flake, a Samuel Gareth flake, it will break differently than a walnut flake or a Sombrero flake.
Yeah.
Simply because of the way the tobacco's been processed.
Right. Right.
So it still appeals to a lot of people, and I mean that's the thing with pipe tobaccos. You will find something you like.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people now just trying something different.
Yeah.
And finding that there is a whole new world outside of what they traditionally could buy in their corner shop.
Yeah.
So that's nice. It's good for business.
Absolutely.
And it also means people can get back to enjoying smoking.
Yeah.
Rather than being tired with the same blend.
Same old thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the YouTube piping community is fairly active. It's surprising how many there are out there, and we all speak to each other. There's Irish, there's American, there's German, there's everywhere. And I mean, what you're talking about with people are not just sticking to one or two blends anymore. It's like a wine tasting club. People are sending you blends and asking you to review them, but I mean, the world of pipe tobacco, the nuances and subtleties of different blends, you couldn't name them all. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you also have the impact of the pipe on the smoke, which a lot of people tend to forget about.
Yeah.
Different blends will actually go better in a larger bowl than a smaller bowl, etc. So you do need to be careful, particularly when you're sampling pipe tobacco. I mean, I know from the shop, I will use an Austrian pipe.
Okay.
This is a huge porcelain bowl.
Yeah.
Like,
So
burned
no flavour.
very, very clean, and you've no contamination on it.
Right.
And because it's long stemmed, you get the smoke is cool by the time. Now, what will smoke well in that will not necessarily smoke well in a very small pipe.
Okay.
So you do need to balance what you're smoking with the pipe that you're smoking it with.
Yeah.
Ghosting, as you refer to, it really depends on the blend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have 4 pipes which I use in rotation.
All Briar?
No, as I say, the Austrian pipe is
Part of
porcelain.
Right.
I have 2 Petersons and 1/4 bent, 1 full bent, and I have a straight Meerschaum.
Nice. Where's the Meerschaum from? Well, obviously, but Turkey is
Ethiopia.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Ethiopian, no, it's, I mean, the Austrian pipe is probably the newest of them, and it's 10 years old. The other 3 are probably into their decade.
Right.
They're certainly 20 years or more.
Right.
I mean, the quality of briar will depend on the manufacturer and depend on what you're prepared to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, we were so fortunate to find Eric Nording as a supplier.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested to hear anybody's comments on Nording pipe, but certainly the quality of his briar is at a different league than everybody else.
Yeah.
His pipes are...
I have a friend who's fond of them, has a couple of the free hands. They're amazing.
To me, they are... I mean, they're grossly underpriced. If they were a Peterson, there would be another knot on it.
Yeah, easily.
There'd be another 2 knots on it.
Easily, yeah.
And these are pipes. I mean, we had a guy come off, and he was an American tourist, come off a boat, and he walked into the shop looking for a Peterson pipe. Saw the Nording freehands and pulled one out of his pocket that he'd been smoking for 20 years, and it had the most beautiful platinum on it.
Right.
Colour hooks, just
gorgeous.
Phenomenal. And he just said, I've been looking for another one of these for 20 years. So the Peterson notion went completely out of his head.
Yeah.
But you know, the really great pipe makers are now starting to reach an age, and I mean, maybe they live long, happy lives, but there's a very definite
Decline and
in that sort of craftsmanship.
right, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
where a guy can take a block of wood and produce something absolutely magnificent from it, not only to the touch, but you know, in terms of its balance,
whole-
its weight,
Yeah.
its finish. Those days, I think, will disappear,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Sad to hear, but we do. I mean, there's a couple of carvers in the YTPC with us as well, and they are still about. I will send you links to them so you can see what you think. But obviously, you'd need to smoke the damn thing to really get a feel for it.
Well, we did actually have the engineering director from McLaren Formula One in the shop.
Right? Oh, they made a pipe, didn't they? The McLaren have a pipe. That's right. Porsche have pipes too.
Porsche, no, well, what we discussed was the function and operation of the pipe. And he was saying that they have materials which will withstand 2,000 degrees on the inside and be stone cold to the touch on the outside.
Jesus, right.
Now, he did promise to make me a pipe, which
The McLaren guy,
he hasn't delivered.
right? Do you have his contact details?
Oh, I do.
Wee reminder.
And he will be getting a reminder. So I think in the future that there will be technology which allows.
Yeah. I've seen the German manufacturer Vaughan, and
Uh-huh.
they have like it almost looks like a carbon fiber scaffolding
Mhm.
around like a briar. Looks like an Eric Nording compass,
Yeah.
but it's like the carbon fiber scaffolding almost. Like I said, it's a very strange pipe. So what I mean, you see more and more garish things like that coming out as well. But what was the McLaren guy gonna make then?
Well, essentially, what he was talking about was making the bowl, and where you have a carbon layer for the bowl, it's actually making a sleeve from this material, which would sit inside the bowl.
Okay.
Now, that could take heat up to 280 degrees,
Uh-huh.
which would stop your pipe ever burning out.
Yeah, yeah.
It also can be cleaned, which means that the ghosting contamination
Gets out.
gets out, and it means that, you know, basically the only thing that you will need to replace on a briar is the mouthpiece.
Right.
So you will get a clean smoke, a cool pipe. I mean, many people think that they don't appreciate the effect that they have on the heat on the pipe.
Right, yeah.
Some people will say a pipe's hot, but probably when you look at it, you know, the rate of smoking is too high, or it's too loosely packed, or it's
Yeah.
too fine, and it's actually encouraging the pipe to become hot.
Yeah,
This would actually, your pipe will be at room temperature.
yeah, yeah. So even for the novice smoker then, you kind of have more of you're able to make mistakes more with it?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would be able to make mistakes with it. That has its pluses and its minuses, because I think one of the key things with a pipe is learning to smoke slowly.
Yeah,
Sip,
yeah. That's it.
you know, like fine whiskey.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I've been smoking for 7 years and only recently have really slowed down and properly started to taste blends and so.
it does make a huge difference. Not only just for
yeah. Thanks very much.
the smoking experience, the whole smoking experience, but you can actually appreciate the quality of what goes into the tobaccos, because we still, the likes of Samuel Garth Hogarth, still produce some of the finest tobaccos in the world.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Some of these blends are centuries old,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
they've
and
managed to
they're still-
survive, and they're still popular to this day.
yeah. We're lucky here in the UK and Ireland to have access to.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, yeah. Although the Gavith are in the American market, but I don't think they have the whole range that we would have access to.
Oh, there's complexity between flavorings and additives between different markets.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, there's very few American tobaccos on the market.
Mhm.
A lot of that is to do with the UK flavorings have to be food grade.
Right, yes.
Food
Yeah,
approved,
yeah.
whereas in America they don't.
They're quite loose about the whole.
Yeah, so you can't just bring a blend from America and plonk it in the UK.
Right. You're
Again,
full of corn syrup or something. Or
well, I think one of the most popular tobaccos ever made. We still get asked for it to this day, which is what, Tracy? Warhorse.
Warhorse, right.
Warhorse was.
I was asked about it earlier on today.
Really? Even today they're asking.
The blend hasn't been manufactured since 1984. We still get customers asking for it.
Right.
And it was simply roll twist, soaked in olive oil, pressed, and then cubed.
Right.
There was no magical formula. It was a very, very, very good Virginia leaf.
Right.
A blend of dark fired and flue cured. But it was the olive oil which gave it a real smokiness.
Right, yes. Yeah.
And enhanced both the flavour and the smoke quality. The smoke quality was very velvet and quite strong tobacco, very high nicotine content. But they banned the use of olive oil in tobacco products, so Warhorse literally disappeared off the market. Yeah. So, tobaccos, you can buy some in some markets. Some will be a different blend in different markets.
Yeah.
Same name.
Yeah.
Others will be a different name. For example, Captain Black. Legally, that term cannot be used on a product in the UK.
Right.
So McBaron's have got routed by using the name Seven Seas.
Seven Seas range. Yeah.
But it's the same blend as Captain Black, but they're not allowed to use that name. So it does get very complicated because
you can't say what flavour the tobacco is. If it's appealing, you can't say cherry pie or vanilla custard. You have to say
that's
VC and
the banning of the names was particularly for pipe tobaccos, which you would have had walnut flake. Right, didn't taste of walnuts.
No.
That was just a brand name. It had to disappear.
Yeah.
I
mean, you can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, I don't think there's any 12-year-olds who are gonna pick up their grandfather's pipe or their father's pipe.
No.
But finally, just one last question then. Would you have what would be your number one piece of advice for anyone who's just starting out then?
Experiment.
Right.
There's a whole world of tobacco, there's a whole world of pipes. They're all different, they're all unique. Just take your time and keep your mind open. You will very quickly learn what suits your palate or what you enjoy. Don't start off with a twist or something that's difficult
Black
to
Irish
smoke.
X,
Or has a particularly high nicotine content if you don't normally smoke.
Yeah.
But just try it. Try the blends. See what you like. Once you find out a blend that you like, see what it's made. Is it a ribbon cut? Is it a mixture? Is it a flake? What's in it? Burley, Virginia, Black Cavendish, Perique, Oriental leaf, and that will guide you in your journey.
Yeah.
But don't be scared to try things.
Don't be scared. Experiment.
Excellent
news. And slow down, and then slow down again.
Learn to sip.
Learn to sip. Well, thank you very much, Niall. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
And we'll be back again soon.
Okay, thank you.
Folks, just a quick video about what I got while I was at Miss Moran's brick and mortar. Haven't tried this. I really needed to try it. As I'm a Burley guy, Old Dark Fired should be up my street. We got some McBaron Scottish mixture. That's actually for a friend of mine's, but I'm sure I'll get to try it. 1792 Flake, the Tonquin flavoured, Virginia mainly, I think. It is, it's been on my list. I need to try. And Niall, the owner of Miss Moran's, the store, he suggested this is a fantastic vapor. So there's a bit more perique in there compared to other vapors that I would have smoked, like Elizabethan mixture, I think. So it'd be nice to try that as well. But just thought I'd let you see the haul. The reason why I was in Belfast was to do a motorcycle theory test, so I passed it, so congratulations to me. I'll be on a motorbike hopefully by next summertime. And finally, Amazon delivered the self-sealing silicone tape, which means I can experiment with it on the end of my pipes instead of rubber bits. It looks nice and thin. It should really work well. Looking forward to especially this. He described it very nicely in the video. I'm sure you'll agree. If somebody says that's the only tobacco if they had to choose one and that's their one, and if you respect them in any way, then I suppose you have to try it. So I had already bought the Scottish mixture, the old dark fired and the 1792, and then after the interview I said, give me that St. James flake. If you really think it's that good, I'll see what it's like. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be uploading more content shortly. I'll hopefully have another interview coming up with a friend of mine who's into his pipe tobacco. Speak to you shortly. Bye.